y'all. It's your legal bestie, attorney Simone, with another episode of Girl, Is That Legal? And on today's episode, we got cut off actually yesterday. We started talking about the Christian Gold hearing because this past Tuesday, he had another probation revocation hearing. So we started talking with one of our subscribers. I call the subscribers the jury. So one of the jurors began telling her story, and then YouTube just didn't want us to be great. So it started messing up. So I said, you know what? We're going to come back today because yesterday there was some error that we got on StreamYard, which is what I use to produce this, saying that they were having issues connecting with YouTube. So there was nothing I could do about it. But before I bring her back up, I just want to let you guys know, if there's going to be any haters in the comments, this is not the day to try me. I love the Lord, but I'm also crazy. I'm crazy. And today in particular, in this week, in full, I am a hot hormonal mess. Okay. I'm doing my last egg retrieval. This will be my third one. So I'm pumped up on all these hormones. I got more hormones in me than a Tyson chicken farm. Okay. So I'm a little on 10. Okay. I'm hot all the time. I'm irritable. I'm kind of like a dick Nazi, except you can't have any while you're going through this process, or else you could give birth to like quintuplets. So needless to say, if you've been through the process, you know it's a lot. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Hot hormonal mess. Yeah, the worst part is like they pump you up with all these hormones, so it makes you like a dick Nazi. But you're not supposed to do it to anything. You're not supposed to. You can't put anything up in there because they don't want some type of contortionism. I don't really know. Also, if anybody needs some Menopur, it's this medication they make you take that's like very expensive. I got some extra boxes that I could sell you for like a third of the price. Okay, because I had to pay out of pocket. I had to pay cash for mine. All right, coming on up, I'm gonna bring up Tiffany. Hey Tiff, how you doing today?
Hey, good evening. I'm trying to get well, but I'm
No,
fight.
what you
Oh,
are
no,
your
no, no.
hormones cutting up too, girl?
Hormones cutting up, and I keep trying to fight a cold. Like
No.
I don't catch cold easily, but it's my throat is scratchy. You know how that goes.
Got you. Can you guys hear her? Okay, you're kind of low a little bit.
Is this better? Let me make sure because I have on my AirPods. But if
Okay,
I
now
need to
that
take
sounds
them off,
good.
okay.
Karen said, since you're asking for us to behave tonight, did something happen? Oh no, it's just that I'm hormonal, so I'm sensitive, and I'm also a little irritable, and I'm also a little crazy. That's all. Other than that, all is normal. Yes. Somebody said not Tyson. Yes, I got more hormones in me than a Tyson chicken farm. Okay, good. You guys can hear it. So Tiffany is one of the jurors, and Tiff attended the hearing incognito. This was wonderful. One of the things I love about you guys, put where you are in the chat. Like any of these cases that we talk about that are still actively going on, we want to talk about also where you guys are from, because maybe I can work with you and you can go into the courtroom for me and get the tea. But what we're talking about here is that Christian Gold this past Tuesday had another probation revocation hearing. And Tiffany, I do have the order now. So Tiffany began by giving us kind of a play-by-play of what went down in the courtroom. And what we were starting with was who all was in there. So Tiff, who all did you say? You said it was 4 people. You said it was Christian the convict, Jen,
Yes.
his auntie that hates me, the fake auntie that hates me with the orphan Annie red hair. And then a man was with her, and that's usually her husband. He's a big old bald-headed man.
Yes.
Yeah, he's one that gave me the look. That was like, oh, leave my wife alone, which is fine. That's what we want. We want a man, it's going to be protective. So they were there. Now, and we got to go into the outfits because I'm petty and I'm ignorant. So let's start there. Who would you like to start with? We really care about what did Christian and Jen have on.
Well, we're gonna start with Christian because I was sitting directly behind him. So
Okay.
if he's watching this, he may remember that
He
little
watches
person that
them.
was
He
behind
watches
him.
all of them. That's how he knows what to tell the bar. Continue.
Christian had on a little and I say little because he's looking rather thin. I almost thought it was a brother. I'm like, does he have a brother? But
All
because
this stressing and scamming done made him lose a little weight, huh?
lose a little weight. He had on a Kiss sweatsuit, believe it or not. Just a little athleisure looking sweatsuit with a
Athleisure.
all black turtleneck to try to dress it up a little bit, and had on some I guess clear acetate prescription glasses, trying to look dignified. He
Mhm.
sat next to
Yeah.
his lovely wife that he was so excited to introduce, but I won't get
Okay.
ahead of myself.
Okay, we won't get to that. Now, let me tell you this. If you or a loved one is ever going to criminal court, do not show up in athleisure wear. You don't want to show up in anything that makes it look like you do this all the time. You do not want to show up to court wearing the same thing that you wear to buy cantaloupes, oranges, and tuna fish, canned tuna fish. Okay. You don't want to look like you're going to the grocery store. You want to look like this is a once in a lifetime occasion. You want to dress like you dress to church or, a funeral. But when you come in there with athleisure, it says, well, it's another Tuesday, it's another hearing. And it generally makes the court think that you're a career criminal, whether you are or you aren't. Continue. Let's hear more about Jen.
Oh, that's well. I wonder why she didn't dress him. I guess he was kind of dressed like the young whippersnapper that he is, considering she's a mature 50-year-old woman, because she had on a red double-breasted mini dress. So it was like a
Mm,
double-breasted blazer style
with
mini
them
dress
legs.
with the legs for days out, shoulder pads, so it was nice and structured.
With the shoulder pads. Okay, Jen with the shoulder pads. Okay.
Had her hair slicked back in a bun, and it was slicked back, and then she had like a little piece bun stuck to, and
Okay. Okay. I
fastened
need
to
one
the
of
back.
those. I wonder if she got hers from Amazon. That's where I'm gonna get mine. Continue.
Exactly. She had on some open-toe strappy sandals,
Okay.
and the weather yesterday was a little cool. It started
Oh, she
off
had
real
those
cool.
toes out. Yes,
Had the
Karen said Jen loves the minis. She does. She likes showing them legs now.
She does. I think she thinks that's her best asset, considering she has a tattoo at the nape of her neck. That's how close I was sitting, with the
What,
Virgo symbol, and
Jen?
underneath it says God's gift.
Oh, doesn't Christian have a neck tattoo as well
Uh,
back there?
Speaking of, what was his name? His wedding outfit? What did you call him?
Liberace. He looked like a black
Liberace.
Liberace at the wedding. He had
Black lib. Well,
he had a
his
very bedazzled suit on, y'all.
and to match his tattoo that says fashion with the infinity sign underneath it. So I'm guessing fashion forever, fashion to infinity. But yes,
Wait, wait, wait,
I
wait, wait. I didn't know this before because I've never sat behind him. Christian Gold has a neck tattoo in the back that says fashion.
yes, with the
That
infinity
is the
sign
gayest
on it.
shit I have ever heard of. That is
Yeah,
so extra gay. And I love the gays and they love me back. But if you're gay and you're in this chat, first of all, hello. And second of all, tell me, is that not the gayest thing you've ever heard? What man has a tattoo on the back of his neck that says fashion that don't like boys? Okay. Maybe I could
yeah,
be wrong. I've been wrong
he
before.
might not beat those allegations. I agree. I was looking. I
I
mean,
was I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but that one is that's gonna make it a tough one. Y'all vote in the chat. Y'all vote in the chat. Fashion, yes, fashion to infinity. And I wonder if Jen got the tattoo to match his since they have the same. So he got fashion with the infinity sign, and she has what on hers?
the symbol for the astrological symbol for Virgo, and
Uh,
then underneath it in cursive, God's gift.
God's gift. Oh, what a blessing! What a blessing she is to this world. Okay, continue.
and and so with the open toe shoes, it was bedazzled with like little jewel tones going up the straps. They kind of remind you of
I bet he picked that out for her.
gladiator sandals, real strappy. She had her little structured designer handbag, I'm sure, with the little twilly on the handle, like a little scarf wrapped
Mm,
around the handle.
so appropriate
And
for a
that was
court.
laying in her lap, and then in her hands, funny enough, I saw, because I thought they were holding hands, because I kind of
Of
peeked
course
over
they
the
were. They want to
bench.
show us all their love because we're all jealous. We're jealous that we don't have our own special convict with 3 children that he doesn't support financially and that are on food stamps periodically from time to time when he can't carry his own weight. That's what we're jealous of. Ladies, if you're jealous, if that's the kind of man you want, put nothing in the chat because we don't want to hear from you. Continue, Tiff.
She had her infamous paparazzi blocking sunglasses in her hand, so they weren't holding hands. She had glasses in them.
Okay.
And then on her left, to her left, so she sat between the two guys. Funny enough, I thought that was interesting because the uncle was on her to her left, so it was Christian to her right and the uncle to her left, so she was smack in the middle. But then
Mm.
to the left of the uncle was the red-headed auntie, and next to her was, I guess, somebody that would later be called, up with
Okay.
their case number. And I
Okay.
thought, why didn't they sandwich the women together? But hey,
Mm.
I,
I don't
I
know.
don't make the
That hater
rules.
ass auntie. That's the auntie that hates me, and she like to put comments under the video. So she has aliases now, so it's not always her picture. That's Auntie Lauren Stovall, actually. Beautiful woman, but she's one that hates me. And yeah, Auntie Lauren, I don't know, Auntie Lauren might be jealous of Jen because she sure do be on that boy's jock. Continue, and she's not even a real auntie. She's like a play auntie.
Well,
Mm.
Play Auntie needed to really step her game up. The last time I think I saw them, they came presentable, but this time it was like, oh, here we go again. Let me throw on this sweatshirt and these bottoms, and same thing with the uncle. They just
Oh,
look like
wait,
I'm
I
here
think
to
Auntie's in the
support.
chat. Hey, Auntie. Okay, today Auntie is using the alias John Cruz. Okay, this one Auntie said, for you to spend so much time on this couple, you're obsessed, girl. Leave them alone. They're not bothering you, and God don't like ugly, and he ain't too happy with pretty. Remember that. Well, first of all, I want to thank you, John Cruz, aka the fake play auntie, who likes to harass me, because we know a black lady wrote this because this is how we speak. John Cruz, whoever this man is, he looks like he's maybe one of those Latino Trump supporters by the photo. Mr. Cruz wouldn't say things like "you're obsessed, girl," because he doesn't even look that gay in this picture. He looks like, I don't know, maybe like 32% gay. He doesn't even look gay enough to say "you're obsessed, girl." But I also have noticed that at the bottom of the comment, he said, "God don't like ugly and he ain't too happy with pretty." So if that is your way of complimenting me and calling me pretty, thank you. I want to say thank you for that. But Auntie, you can join the chat at any time. Love you. Preliminary happy holidays. Yeah, because John Cruz, like, people in the chat are saying, calling him Auntie Cruz. Hey, Auntie Cruz. Yeah, we know you're there. All right. Sorry, Tiff. Please
No,
continue.
it's okay. You have a good eye. This is why we love you.
Love you more.
So that was it on the preliminary of what I saw, and then it was court as usual until
Absolutely.
until I realized who I was sitting around on my row.
Okay, got it. Pam said, John Cruz, aka Christian the Scam of Gold. Yeah, that is believable. And Blue Neptune, thank you for the super chat. Blue Neptune has asked, Dear Simone, is there an update on Carmen and her missing 30,000? I pray for justice and money for his many victims. So Carmen was one of the alleged victims who gave her entire Social Security settlement to Christian to invest. As a result, she became evicted. She was living in a hotel, and then it got not put out of that, but her money ran out with respect to that. So the update there is Carmen is doing her best to raise money and Carmen, if you're watching this, feel free to drop your GoFundMe link in the chat below, and then I will happily pin it. But Carmen basically is trying to fundraise the money for an attorney to get the retainer to hire an attorney. A number of the victims want to do that. And because it is a strong case, the challenge is this is not the kind of case that attorneys will take on contingency. It has to be done on an hourly basis. So for people who've already lost their savings, it's challenging to come up with the money for this kind of an hourly lawsuit. All right. So going back to Tiffany. So the recap here is we're talking about this was Tuesday's probation revocation hearing. Tiffany was there. She's giving us a play-by-play. So she's gone over already what everyone was wearing, where they were sitting. So now let's talk about when you were there. I know you overheard some discussions between Christian and what is now his new probation officer. So a component of this hearing is that a new probation officer is being assigned to Christian's case. So tell us about what you heard.
Yes. Eventually, I think what had happened was by the time it came around, his Gmail lawyer spoke and
Mr.
asked if he could confer with the state for a moment.
Okay, y'all. And
So,
the Gmail lawyer is, I think his last name is Maloof. Mr. Maloof, bless his little heart. He looks like he's had a hard life. If you ever watch Night Court, he looked like them public defenders that would show up at Night Court. I mean, his suit looked fresh out of Burlington Coat Factory. If you know, you know. It looked a little itchy. But Mr. Maloof, importantly, I call him the Gmail lawyer because he, in fact, only has a Gmail. And I have a saying that if your lawyer has Gmail, you're going to jail. If your lawyer has AOL, you're definitely going to jail. I've seen that too. But basically, Gmail lawyers are basically the lawyers that are old school, not really with it, don't even have a website. They just be posted up in the criminal courthouse, looking for people who got problems and may or may not have cash. So the Gmail lawyer was in there. The Gmail lawyer said he needed some time to get familiar. That's consistent with Gmail lawyers because they usually don't read too much in advance of a hearing. They just kind of show up and wing it because they're so busy they haven't even had time to create a website. Imagine how busy you've got to be. Continue.
exactly. Especially when I heard him also say that once again he had been out of town, and that was when he was behind the plexiglass talking to a couple of the other lawyers. And then
So
he
the
was
lawyer
all,
was out of town.
yep, I'm sorry.
So the lawyer was out of town, not Christian.
Yes,
Okay.
right.
Got
The lawyer said he was
it.
out of town,
Mm-hmm.
but it was funny when he was behind the plexiglass and convincing amongst the other lawyers. He was talking loud, but every time it was time to present or in front of the judge, his tone got a little less, almost like he was timid, almost like he didn't really know what he needed to say. So he
Mm.
stalled and said, "Hey, can I confer with the state?" And of course, they
Got
were
it.
off to the side. And eventually, he came over, back out where Christian was
Okay.
to talk to his client. And at that moment, I realized the lady sitting one seat over from me, she introduced herself to him and said, "Hey, I've been assigned his case. No, I'm not assigned. I inherited his file, and I'm his new probation officer."
Okay.
And so he said, "Oh," and he kind of perked up, meaning not Christian, but the Gmail lawyer. He said, "Oh, I would love to," and he's bending down, and so they're kind of he's starting to whisper, and I was
Let's get those
straining my
likes up,
ears.
guys. I'm sorry, Tiffany. Let's hit those likes up, guys. We've only got about 100 some likes, but we got 665 in the chat. Keep going.
Yes. So I'm straining my ears trying to hear what they're saying. And I did perk up when I heard the term felony come out of his mouth.
Oh,
And I heard him also say he would love to have this whole thing come to an end. It had been 8 years, blah, blah, blah. And she started to say some things, I guess, that kind of piqued him more. Him, Christian, and the probation officer
uh-huh.
stepped outside the courtroom. So, I was like, and so eventually when they came back, Christian introduced, he said, "Hey, this is my wife, Jennifer." And Jennifer turned around and, put out her little hand and
Now,
they
wait a
shook
minute.
hands.
Now, the probation officer is a black lady, right?
Yes, she is.
Okay. What kind does she look like? She look like the girly girl kind, the butch kind, the lipstick lover? Like, what kind did she look like? What kind she look like?
She, she, she looked, I was excited because, she had her badge, her little badge on her pants,
Okay.
she had on
Official.
pantsuit. I was official, but when he turned around, she just fanned out.
Okay. She was a fan. She don't watch the show.
she
Okay.
she was a fan, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
and what further solidified that was when I heard her say out of her mouth that she he wouldn't need to check in,
Mm-hmm.
that he could travel freely, he just needed to be in place when called, but other than that, it was going to be smooth sailing.
Okay. Now, Karen McDowell, you're asking, how do you do a super chat? Thank you for asking. If you're on YouTube and you're trying to leave a comment from YouTube, the same place where you type in your comment, if you look to the left or the right, or maybe just above it, there's like there's a dollar sign. If you click that, that's how you can leave a super chat. So, this hearing was listed as a show cause hearing. So that means you need to show the court why probation should not be revoked for a particular reason. But they did not list in advance the reason for the motion. So that gave the implication it appeared that the reason was going to be something along the lines of some type of a technicality. My guess was it would be related to his address, due to the fact that when they mailed notice, they mailed it to his mom's old house, to his old address. They mailed it to his lawyer. They mailed it everywhere except for where he's actually living in Georgia, which is in Jennifer's house, because he ain't got shit. So in Jennifer's house, because he doesn't own any assets. He's got a $6 million net worth with zero assets, because that makes sense. Right, guys? And so the other element of that is that on the prior hearing for probation revocation, he asked for both a travel pass and, well, first he asked, Judge, would you terminate probation early? And if not, give us a travel pass. So the judge did the latter, gave the travel pass and said, no, I'm not going to let you off early. You don't get off. At this point, he doesn't get off probation until next August. So that is why his two pending issues, which are the federal investigation for the alleged Ponzi scam that's been going on, and I can give you an update on that, as well as the potential felony charge for abandonment of his children, because it has been over 30 days since he's financially supported them and since he's visited them. And now that the child's mom no longer lives in Georgia, it's considered a felony because it's involving multiple state lines. So what that means is if he gets charged with that abandonment, meaning he doesn't pay up that child support, it could be seen as a probation revocation, because that would be a new felony charge. Or if any time between now and next August, the feds charge him criminally with any of the financial crimes that are in play here, it is a probation revocation and he will have to go back to jail. And see, the feds, if they do that, that's a federal crime, and he will also have to serve state time for any probation revocation, which could be like a year. Okay, so I wanted to make that part clear. Hold on, we also got, thank you, Karen. Karen said, love the investigative reporting. I appreciate you. Yes. Somebody said, what is Auntie mad about? Her air quote nephew is out here lying, scheming, and stealing folks' money and lying on camera. You know, the 12,000 versus the 250. Exactly. And here's what's interesting. I represented pro bono a number of the victims of his shenanigans. And there are some victims, and I'm not naming names, but there are some victims that are actually family of his. They're related to him. So it may just be that Auntie didn't invest any money and therefore didn't lose any money, or maybe she got her, payment, but he has other relatives that went to the feds, that filed complaints with the feds. So if your own family is filing federal complaints because you took their money and then went on TV and are showing how you done, bought your girlfriend or your wife a Rolls Royce and all this kind of stuff, and your sole income is supposed to be managing their money, sir, you got problems. So basically, he has to keep his nose clean for a year or until he's off probation. And any hiccup, any new charge is a revocation, and he's going to have to be arrested, and you're going to sit there until the court decides what to do. So Tiff, so it sounded like the probation officer was fangirling. Yes. She was basically like, yeah, you don't need to do too much anymore. You've been doing it, basically like jacking his thing. Did she look like she probably like him?
She could.
What was her age range? 30s, 40s?
30s.
Okay, got it. Mm-hmm. That's that makes sense. Okay, and let me add to the stage. I'm going to add, so this was the order that came up, and I just want to kind of explain to you guys how it works. So what he received from the hearing was it was an order to allow travel outside of Georgia for 30 days while on probation. So it says the matter having come before the court on a probation calendar, November 12th, filed by the DeKalb Felony Probation Department, seeking the defendant receive a non-reporting status. And the state defense counsel and Cobb County Felony Probation all agree to allow travel for 30 days for the defendant to participate in business activity in California and other states. That's basketball wives. He wants to go to Cali so he could likely film Basketball Wives. Girl, that's gonna be a good season. That's gonna be a good season because Jen, through him, he's ostracized buku people. Sorry, Creole. He's ostracized lots of people from Jen. And so that's going to be a whole storyline where Jen feels like these people are not supportive of her, but it's really the people had their concerns. Your friends, the people that love you with love, express concern. But the thing of it as well, that's going to be interesting to see is her friends still love her. Nobody has given her any of those ultimatums like pick me or pick your criminal convict man. No, you can have both. You can have your criminal convict man. I'm just not going to pretend like there aren't concerns. Now, the second paragraph here says, this court hereby orders the defendant is authorized to leave the state of Georgia to travel for business and family events for 30 days. Hold on. Family events. That's really interesting wording considering you've abandoned your children. Keep in mind, I did a prior video about how he had a criminal court hearing regarding abandonment of the younger two children that are 3 years old and 2 years old. And in that abandonment hearing, the court found, and that he is submitting to, basically, he has not paid any child support since June, although he had this big fancy wedding. Jennifer made the comment on YouTube that, oh, he doesn't, there's no child support order in place. Does that mean the kids ain't hungry? Does that mean they don't poo-poo? Does that mean they don't need a pamper? No, he has not supported the kids since June. And he has 3 now. Two, the oldest one should be like 17 or 18 at this point, or probably around 16, 17. And let me clarify. The oldest one was born when Christian was 17, and now he's 33. So I don't know if he's still on support for that one, but I believe that one is somewhere in the state of Georgia. The other 2 are not in California. My point is, it's interesting that he can go to California for business and family events, although he ain't got nary family for there that lives there, as in none of his kids. So I guess he's going to kick it. And from the signing of this order, the state shall contact the victim in this case within 30 days, and a hearing will be scheduled approximately 30 days from the issuance of this order to determine if the defendant's probation will become non-reporting or terminate. Baby, I know her name. Almost said her name. Don't you do it. Baby girl, don't you do it. In other words, the victim has the ability to allow him to get off probation early. So if she says it's fine, here's my concern. Y'all remember back when Nikki, and I want to get your thoughts on this, Tiff, since you've done all this, I really want to hear your thoughts. Y'all remember when Nicki Minaj, there was an issue with Nicki Minaj's husband did not do whatever paperwork was needed to transfer, because he's an S offender. He didn't register for California. So they were basically going to revoke his parole or probation or sentence him back to jail. So in an attempt to try and reduce the likelihood of that happening, someone from Nikki's team allegedly went to the victim and tried to basically compensate her or get her to retract her statement so that he would not receive that punishment. That was the allegation. That victim at the time was actually represented by Tyrone Blackburn, the same attorney that represents Little Rod against Diddy. Well, what I'm saying here is my concern is because old boy so badly wants to get off this probation so he can live this life and travel and do all the basketball wives things, because now he's a basketball wife. Now he's a basketball wife. My concern is that he may have people like his fake auntie and other people from his side harass that girl into agreeing to allow him off probation early. Nope. I don't think that he should do that. I don't even think they should put the victim in this. I think they need to leave the victim alone, and the judge needs to leave it as it is, because in the last hearing she said, no, I'll let him travel, but he still has to stay on probation. Also, this is saying they're allowing him to be on probation non-reporting status. That makes it super simple. That means he doesn't have to go in each week. That means it could be a pop-up. That means he can, that means it's every now and again. So if you're on non-reporting status, it says, to determine if non-reporting status or if the probation will become non-reporting or terminate. If I were the victim, I'd be like, let him do his time, all of it to the end. Especially considering how he just barely finished up the restitution of $12,500. And if it wasn't for the fact that he wanted to go to the wedding, he wouldn't have paid the $12,500 when he did. Tiff, what do you think?
As far as
As
what
far
part?
as, do you think he should be allowed to get off probation early at this point after he's already been, he's already had violations for traveling internationally and doing whatever the hell he wants? Now he wants to get off a year early, basically.
No, because the original revocation that he went to, he was already doing things counter to what he had supposed to been
That's what
doing
I'm saying.
for, the years that he's been on it. He's not followed it to the T. So
Mm-mm.
no.
Yeah, Deb said, I don't wish for him to go to jail. At this point, I'm having sympathy on him. He just needs help and positive people to push him to. Yeah, he just needs to follow the rules. I don't want anybody going to jail when the alternative, if the goal is for you to pay people their money, I don't need you to be sitting in jail cell. I need you to be somewhere working. So I love that the order says he gets to go work. Good, go work. Also, if the mother of his children are watching, ma'am, this is Exhibit A. Take this on into the courthouse when you go on for the next child support hearing and be like, hey, he's over there in California working. We need to see those pay stubs. That's what we need to make calculations based on. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, we only got 300 likes. We got over 800 watching. Can we hit that like button, please? Trey Gaming Fish says, hell to the absolute no. Shelly B says no. I'm going to answer this one for sure. I'm going to star this one. What's on the Fed case? I surely will. He's See, Southwest Houston said he's putting himself in jail for not handling his business. See, yeah, I just don't think, just don't bother the victim. I just say don't bother the victim and don't put the pressure on her to where, his life could be more comfortable if she says, okay, leave that lady alone. Now, he cannot contact the victim because that is absolutely a portion of his probation criteria. He cannot contact her, and he's not supposed to contact her through any third party. So that's the raggedy auntie and everything, because the raggedy auntie was actually in the probation sentencing transcript. It was noted that the raggedy auntie was harassing the victim via Facebook. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yep, you're right. No, let me say something. Oh, to love Keela. Keela, I'm so glad that you made this comment. Okay, so I can elaborate. Keela said, you mean to tell me the baby mama sat on this here internet talking about how he hasn't supported his children and there is no child support order to enforce? What the heck? So you are correct. There is no child support order to enforce. But what there is that Christian created an agreement. He drafted an agreement that outlined how much he was going to pay her monthly. That amount was $2,200. And pursuant to that, he paid her $2,200 consecutively for 4 months. So what happens is you don't have to have, first of all, you don't have to have a child support order. But when you don't support it, and so when you don't support your children at all, when you do go to court, you are entitled to future and back support. But what will happen here is by him already having paid, let's say those 4 months at $2,200, whatever the back support that's ordered, they're going to deduct that out. And then for the future support, they'll calculate it for the future. So you are right. So in this instance, it's no different than like if anyone goes to their child's father and the child's father says, because this is what was said, let's agree on an amount. That way you don't have to go to court. That's what we're saying. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Y'all tell me your thoughts in the chat. But I think there's lots of people who wish they could save on lawyers, not have to pay for lawyers, and just have each side agree this is what the amount will be, and you're going to give it to me whatever day a month each month so we can proceed, instead of having to go back and forth to court. Because I mean, lawyers like me, I'm getting paid, but that's not the goal. Hey, Simone, watching from London. Oh, started your law degree. Oh, email me anytime if you need some help. Thank you, Shelly. So yeah, Tiff. Oh gosh, what was there anything else you wanted to add about your experience at the hearing? Anything you observed?
I think what I observed mostly, especially now that you've read the document,
Mm-hmm.
he did what happened is is what it looks like he set out to do. Just a lot of, back and forth, because remember I said the original time when his case number came up, he asked to, confer with the state. And then by the time it came back around for them to, follow up, some other things happened in between. And then when the number got called again to go back to that, he approached the bench with the state,
Mhm.
and we couldn't really hear anything that was going on. So it was a lot of,
Okay.
whispering. So I guess, but now I did notice while he was confirmed with the state, it was a lot of back and forth. He was shifting around in his seat. She seemed serious, not as serious as the
Okay.
time before, and it wasn't the same woman, but she seemed pretty serious. But evidently, they came to some sort of agreement. And then, like I said, when he stepped outside to talk to the probation officer, along with Christian, I just think that he probably did a lot of smooth talking and, downplayed things. And like I said,
Mhm.
between that and her fangirling, it just it seems like it's going to be somewhat of a cakewalk at this point, if things don't happen, with some of the other stuff that's been going on behind the scenes with him.
Gotcha. No, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much, Tiffany. I really appreciate you
You're
joining.
welcome. You're
You are
welcome.
one of my faves. And I want to just gift you for all that you do for the channel, for all your support. I want to gift you a background check into the person of your choice. So you just text me a name and address. It could be for you. It could be, it could be one of your daughter's boyfriends. It could be one of your homegirl's boyfriends, whoever you want. Just give it. And I will privately run that background check and give you the details. All right.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. All
Thank
right,
you.
jurors.
All
Bye.
Bye. And guys, for those who are the members on my channel, I have not forgotten. I'm getting you guys your background checks too. I've just been like overwhelmed and swamped and hormonal and acting crazy. So thank you, Child of the King. She said, baby, we know there's no lawyer like Legal Bestie who can break this shyster's unethical legal crap down and all the way down. Love what you're doing. Love what you're doing, helping and educating us on the law. That reminds me, don't forget, you can always go to my website, which is Simone. What is wrong with this? Here we go. There we go. SimoneRedwine.com. And there you can let's see, I'm gonna put it on the screen. You can schedule a consultation with me. I help with legal issues around the nation. We do legal strategy sessions, y'all, and it's so fun. I really love doing them. From people who are dealing with potential divorces. Maybe you want a background check into a person that you think you want to get a divorce from them, or you want a background check into someone. I do background checks in those sessions. I do legal consultations, a variety of issues. At the top here, you can click book or hire Simone. You can also get my book on this channel. On this page. The book is Background Checks 101, how to find out who the heck you're really dealing with. You can get those here too. And next up, I have an update on the federal case. Okay. On the federal case and the marriage certificate. So let's get back to that. Now, I'm gonna do the federal case, and then we're gonna close out with the marriage certificate, because it's also correlating. I'm gonna reference something else. So with the federal case, it's still active. Now, if you remember, for example, with the Trump federal case where he was hiding all those boxes, it took time. First they went and they did their investigation. Then they found out enough information to get a subpoena. Once they got the subpoena, they went and they collected records. Once they reviewed the records, then they were able to determine, based on this evidence, what charges can we possibly bring. So that's what's going on in the federal case. The federal case, victims around the nation are sharing their stories with the feds. If you were a victim of Christian Gold and you'd like to share your story with the feds, you can message me. You can go to SimoneRedwine.com. My email address is there, and you can say, put in the subject line, Fed contact Christian Gold. We can get you in touch with them so you can give their story. Then after that, what the feds do is, I'm not going to give in too much detail because I don't want to help Christian get away with this. But the feds do their thing. And the thing of it is, so I have defended people who were allegedly PPP scammers. And one of the things that happens is when you go into the feds and they say, we want to come in, we want to have a discussion with you about a proffer, which is basically you giving up all the facts in exchange for them giving either you immunity or some type of a deal. So what happens is when you go in there, oh baby, the feds have forensic accountants. Okay. So what I anticipate will likely happen is after they get all the information from the different victims, they're gonna bring Jennifer in. They're gonna bring Jennifer in first with her lawyer and tell her to come on down with her lawyer. Now, mind you, in this instance, Jennifer's lawyer cannot be Christian's lawyer because there's a conflict. It doesn't matter that they're married. They could still bring Jennifer in. Why? Because allegedly he has used some of Jennifer's bank accounts to move money, to place money, all of that. So if any of these bank accounts have Jennifer Williams Gold, Walden, Hootie Poot Poot, whatever else he wants to call himself, Fashion Infinity, Mr. Fashion Infinity, Mr. Sassy Pants, name on it and her name on it. It could be both names or just her name on it. Because what was happening sometimes is he would tell people, oh, you need to send me the money via Zelle or PayPal or this or that. If her name is on any of it, they're going to pull her into the office and say, listen here, little girl, we know you don't know no better. Little Tink Tink, we know you are not street savvy. So we're here to tell you, we want to know why this money was moving this way and that with your name on accounts or joint accounts with your hubby. And if you tell us what we need to know and you tell us the truth, you're not going to be in trouble. Otherwise, wire fraud, baby, wire fraud is the easiest thing to bring someone down in. Because here's what wire fraud is. Wire fraud is simply electronically moving money where you're saying the money is going to be used for one thing and it's not. So in any time you have more than like $10,000 coming through an account, it has to be known. Or anytime, I think now the threshold is 14,000. It used to be 12,000. Any more than 12,000 that comes through your account, I don't care if it's your boyfriend to give it to you, your fiance or your dog, you have to pay taxes on it. So if that kind of money was moving through an account with Jen's name on it, the feds can pull her in, ask her, hey, you can either be a witness or you can be a co-defendant. Now, I think she's going to be really ride or die until it's time to go to jail. Then I think she's going to hop off that bandwagon. She's going to hop off. Oh, Sherry said they're lucky if the marriage lasts 6 months. Oh, it says, Simone, are you going to Tyler's court date? We need a follow-up from you and Jesse. You know what? I was trying to do it on Friday. But we gotta reschedule that. Oh, no, I can't still. Tyler's is coming up. You know what? Do we have any legal besties in Maryland? I think the town is like Edgetown. I'm gonna make a post. If so, I would love to support one of you guys going to Tyler from Love is Blind's child support hearing. He got a hearing because Tyler ain't been paying child support, y'all, since then Kingdom Come, before he went on the show. Back before he got evicted and everything. Because he got evicted just a little bit, just right in August, right before he had to leave out there to the show. But yeah, Tyler has a child support hearing because apparently he hasn't paid anything since like last August or something like that. And the gay lady he had them babies with, she's mad. She is riled up, man. He has some babies with this pretty little gay lady. Go to my channel if you haven't seen that story. It's me and Jesse Wu on my channel here. It's a video where I did a full background check on Tyler from Love is Blind, as well as all the little antics and shenanigans. Blue Neptune said $1,100 per child seems late for a man of his financial wealth. $2,200 is what a parent earning $200K a year pays in support. Exactly. It is who called me? I'm sorry. It is supposed to be 20% of your income. So even if so let's say your net worth is $6 million, but maybe annually you make $1 million, then 20% of that would be $200K. So $200K should be put towards your children. And then if you have two, it should be closer to 25%. So $250K. Also, when you have kids in separate households, it's calculated different because each household needs a little bit more than if they were all three in the same household. Hit that live. Yep. Iris D said the feds know everything about Jennifer, but they will have her come in and see if they can get her to give information. Absolutely. Yes, there's new tea on Tyler. I went through his evictions, how he really needed to find love on that show because, baby, he had just got evicted for not paying his rent and all kind of stuff. All type of stuff. Let's see. We got to, okay. Sherry said they're lucky if the marriage lasts 6 months. So then, secondly, I got some star questions here. I want to make sure. Ooh. Oh, Queen D asks, can we get a quick update on that bar complaint? I hope you are embarrassing him in the worst way. Oh, yes, honey. Oh, yes. That has been filed and submitted, or it's going to be submitted by Friday. Yes, we're really excited about that one. And I'm just going to be shucking and jiving all through that. No, I am actually, it's real simple. And one of the things in the law is if you find yourself talking too much, you're probably losing. So it actually was simpler. It was fairly simple because, it's me versus the time he had in his jail cell. Because he's a ridiculous person. Let's see. She said, what's going on in the Fed's case? Da, 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 da. Oh, and then VLS Aries, hit that like button, y'all. Said, did anyone see the marriage certificate? No, nobody's seen it. That's probably the smartest thing Jennifer has done throughout this whole little saga. Is it sounds as though they got married over there, and then what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to file or get a marriage certificate in the United States. I don't believe that they did, because I feel like if they had done that here, it would have been a production. They would have dressed up. They would have gotten their photographer. They would have, took some photos on the courthouse steps and, had it lit. And she would have been all oiled up with baby oil all on her legs and showing us all that long-legged Lucy can offer. But we didn't see any of that because I don't think it exists. I think we've been looking for a while. I've checked in multiple counties. No, I think this is going to be a basketball wives love affair. He's really wanted to be a basketball wives. If you remember as well, when he was in the clinker, when he was on Locked Up, Don't Let Him Out, his cellmate was actually Louis from Love After Lockup. There's Louis and Melissa. They just got engaged in like the last episode, the most recent episode of Love After Lockup. So and Louis had already been on the show. And it's my understanding that he was trying to talk Louis into letting him be on Love After Lockup. He wanted to go on Love After. He's been trying to get on TV for a long time. He just finally found someone willing to fall for his antics and let him be on there. But yeah, he and Louis were cellmates, bunkies. So I love me some Louis. Louis is so sweet. But yeah, the marriage certificate, no one has seen that one. But in a related story, you know whose marriage certificate we have seen? Oh, let me see if I can. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to put it on screen. Hold on. Locked up, won't let me out. Here we go. Whose marriage certificate we have seen is Attorney Kayla Bumpus. Attorney Bumpus, congratulations on your new marriage. So Attorney Kayla Bumpus is YSL Woody's attorney. And some people are like all up in arms about this because basically she's married one of the defendants in the YSL case. And so that's what the big story is about. Yes. Oh yeah. Golden Pisces said, what? Yes, baby. They's married now. They are married. Yes, she's married. Hold on, I'm gonna pull this up. And multiple people have been like, is it true? Yes, it's true. I am here to tell you it's true. So I know Ms. Bumpus because we used to be in the same firm. I won't say which firm because I firmly believe that one of the partners there is a fucking crook, but that's another story. I've got a lawsuit I got to file about him. But hold on. Here we go. Why is this not on? Yeah, he's a crook. But that's another story. That don't have nothing to do with her. She's a great lawyer, and I have nothing but positive things to say about her legal skills. But I want to speak to some people like, why she just didn't admit that was her, that was her husband. How come she's, she's not speaking to it one way or the other? Well, cause y'all stay in that lady business. Y'all, I understand. I'm messy and nosy just like the next Christian, okay? I'm all messy and Christian and everything too. But the bigger thing is, so this is her. There's an actual marriage license, and this is her boo thing. This is her husband. And the gist of it is this. So I believe she probably don't want to admit to it because the average person doesn't understand that it's not a conflict, that you can do this. So what happened is the marriage took place. The marriage certificate, I'm gonna see if I can get it to pop up. The marriage certificate was signed this past August in Bayhar, Texas, which is San Antonio, Texas. So let's say Kayla. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Put it on the screen. All right, here we go. I'm going to show you this quick little clip.
Yeah. I don't even know what I'm looking at, but I'm looking at it. This tea just came in so hot. Listen, this is a marriage license between attorney Kayla Bumpus and Shannon Jackson. What is Shannon Stillwell's other name? Shannon Jackson. Y'all don't believe me. Hold on. Harris County, which is in Texas. And I know what y'all thinking. How did she marry him if she's in Texas and he's in jail? Because you could do it through Zoom in Texas.
Hold on.
Harris County. Name Shannon Jackson.
To be clear, it was actually signed Bayhar County, which is San Antonio, but I'm going to let her continue.
Y'all don't believe me. Hold on. Harris County, which is in Texas. And I know what y'all thinking. How did she marry him if she's in Texas and he's in jail? Because you could do it through Zoom in Texas. Hold on. Listen. This tea just got to me and I'm giving it to y'all. I'm just, listen, we investigating this together because if this is true, yeah, what do y'all think? Could this be true? It says Kayla.
It is, okay, it is true. It is true. And here's how else we know it's true. All right, here we go. Quick little simple search there. We're going to switch it to this one. I'm going to show y'all real big on the screen right here. We're going to share this tab. We also know it's the same Kayla because I'm going to put this big on the screen. If you do a search of her name, where was it? Hold on a second. Here we are. Let's see. This is the member directory for the Georgia bar. I just put in her name, Kayla. Bumpus. There we go. And it says Kayla Janae Bumpus. Well, what did the marriage license say? Let me just make sure you can see both of these. Hold on. It's Kayla Janae Bumpus. And the marriage license is also Kayla Janae Bumpus. Shannon Stillwell is also Shannon Jackson, as the woman stated in the video. So this is the same set of people. Here we go. It is the same set of people. And so what it means is that she represented YSL Woody with respect to him testifying. And technically, he at the time was not testifying against her fiance or boyfriend. YSL Woody testified in June. This marriage occurred in August. Some people were like, well, how did it occur in because Kayla lives in Harris County, but the document said Bayhar. Here's how. In the state of Texas, anybody can get married in Texas. You can live in Kalamazoo. You can live in Alaska. Anyone can get married in the state of Texas. You don't even have to be a Texas resident. And while the woman was correct, you can do Zoom. You don't even have to do Zoom. In Texas, you can do something called marriage by proxy, which is more likely what happened. With marriage by proxy, all that happens is her fiance at the time would simply have to sign a document that says, I'm a lad, little Ray sign for me. And this is me signing, giving my permission for Lil Ray to sign a marriage certificate. And then Ray in Texas signs a marriage certificate, bada boom, bada bing. So I just want to be clear. Also, I wanted to be clear on why this is technically not a conflict of interest, or that if it is, it's not an issue. Here's why. With a conflict of interest, the right to waive that conflict lies only with your client. Her client was Little Woody. It's actually Woody, but we'll just call him Woody because that's what people remember. Little Woody was the client, so he's the sole person that could say, I'm cool, I don't mind. And with the chemistry that the two of them had, the friendship that they've had over the years, you go to her channel, there's like these hilarious videos between the two of them. She actually sat him down, interviewed him. And when you see those videos, you see Woody don't care. Woody didn't want to be up there in the first place. So Woody absolutely was not going to have an issue with saying, yeah, that's fine. You can represent me and you can keep doing it to that man over there. Now, again, at the time in June, when that testimony took place, they were not married, but they did marry subsequently. And if she wants to marry a jailbird, she's welcome to it. She is welcome to it. She's going to set that man free. That's the best kind of love. I hope he's still, and she's not Shannon Stillwell's attorney. Shannon Stillwell has a different attorney. Yes. Oh, I bet she said, yes, he's locked up. So she married an inmate. He is one of the sole two, Shannon Stillwell is one of the sole two defendants that are left. There's only two left. And he's saying, give me free. He is saying, he is saying he's going to fight it. Desi said, lawyers have a different code of ethics than doctors. LMAO, can't be marrying patients or your patient's best friend. Very weird. Yeah. But so in this instance, in this case, she was never Shannon's lawyer. So if she was Shannon's lawyer and then was also trying to represent little Woody, then that would be a problem. But here, she was representing Woody in that one. It was supposed to be that one hearing on that one day, and then it became all this other stuff. And Lil Woody actually fired her, so she didn't have to continue and proceed. So how much time does he have left? Well, here's the thing. The poor man ain't even started his time. He's fighting for his innocence right now. That man has been locked up for 2 years and some change. Now, all I know is that man must have some coins hidden in the wall in his granny's basement or something. Because Kayla don't do broke. Kayla do not like poor men. I mean, she'll be your friend if you're a poor person, but she ain't really trying to do it to y'all like that. So that man, he must have been real successful before all this. So they were dating before trial. I mean, I guess she could have fell in love with him in the jail cell when she was going up there doing the visits to Woody or whatever. No, Woody wasn't in jail. Woody was not in jail. And she has not represented anyone else but Woody related to the YSL trial. So, yeah, so the issue is, so were they dating before trial? I don't know. Is she blonde? No, she's not blonde. I'll go to the page that had the picture of her. She's not blonde. She is, hold on, we were just there. Here it is. There's a picture of her. There's a little cutie pitchy. This is her. And this is him. Yeah, he looked like he been through some things. He got a private lawyer, though, so he got some money from somewhere. This is her. Oh, this is a good picture. That's pretty. And get it, girl. And give it to him. Oh, can y'all see this? Hold on. Oh, y'all can't see it. Hold on. Here I go. Get it, girl. I'm so wait. Go back to it. Get him, Kayla. And then here go the dude. Ooh, he looked like he done been through something. He kind of looked guilty though, guys. What y'all think? It's that face tattoo. It'll do it every time. Makes it look, you're not guilty of this. You guilty of something else. Have I covered Woody's defense on my channel a little bit towards the beginning, but there was so much going on. Somebody said Shannon must have the gift of gab and some money. Shannon got some money. Oh, Quinny said, I think that lady showed up in the 20 versus 1. She's actually, I don't want to call her a lady because, I mean, she is a lady, but she's not old. She is. She's really pretty. She's like in her 30s. Yes, Kayla is a whole black woman. She's not blonde. It's the name. Oh, that's what it is. Somebody said, is she blonde? Karen, I now see what you were going at. No, she is not a Caucasian. How much time does he have left? So much. So much. I mean, unless he's found not guilty. At this point, take it to the end. It must have been. So the reason this guy has not taken a plea is likely because whatever plea offer is on the table is too doggone long. And they're like, no. And I'm not sure what kind of time that is. Let me see what other pictures they got. Yeah, the pictures are. But yeah, she is not. Yeah, one of the claims is allegedly he had a phone on him and calls, text message between them was found. That's not a problem. Well, the problem is the phone. That is a problem. But Kayla when she was asked about it, let me see if this is a clip. Hold on.
Hey
Hey,
guys,
Hi guys.
let's see. Oh, I'm not doing that whole live. But basically, in this live, she speaks on it and she basically says, why do y'all need to know? Why are you guys all in my business? Da-da-da-da. Let me tell you something. That means yes, y'all. That means yes. That means yes, that's my man, and it ain't your business because y'all don't understand. So all power to her. Ooh, Iris D. Girl, you're a good juror. She said she doesn't want to testify against him. Now that's one reason to do it. Yeah, he's not bad looking. He just got a face tattoo. Oh, hold on, Cynthia. Wasn't the offer 200 years instead of 300? Wait a minute. Let me see. That sounds crazy. Shannon, here we go. Shannon Stillwell offer of years. Oh, he was close. He was offered a sentence of 40 years in prison with 20 years on probation. Ooh. Nope. I wouldn't take it either. But you know what? That's the same thing, though, that Thug was offered. But Thug actually took it. So that's the difference. Yeah. Can y'all still hear me? It says okay, but that's the same thing that Thug was offered, but for whatever reason, Thug took it, and what ended up happening is yes, it was the 40 years, or is it 20 years, whatever it was, but they gave him time served, and the rest of those years would be probated. So the challenge is this: if he agrees, I'm going to put that on the screen just real quick so you can see it larger. So Stillwell was offered a sentence of 40 years in prison and 20 years on probation. The two M charges he was facing would be reduced to manslaughter. Okay. Yeah. And then they offered to reduce the murders under the agreement. The state would recommend he be sentenced to 15 in prison, 5 on probation. Oh yeah, he would serve the sentences concurrently. Yeah, that's why he's like, oh no, I don't blame him. That's a lot. Yeah, you gonna go ahead and fight at that rate. So he didn't. Yeah. Yeah, no. Desi said he didn't. He was offered time served and 15 on probation. No, that's correct. Young Thug was offered the time served and offered on probation. But what happened was it was not an agreed upon deal. I think it was 20 years total, 15 on probation, and then how it works is your time in the county is 2 for 1. So the 2.5 years he's been there counted as the 5 years time served is generally how that works. So it's something along those lines. That's how come he was able to come right on out. What is the point of marrying someone facing 20 years? I would like to know that too. I mean, but we got a whole show about it. Love after lockup. So people do it all the time. I don't know. I hope he's rich. I hope he's hid money in his granny's basement. And now that they're married, he's told her exactly where it is, and she can buy all the Birkin bags that she wants, but also not go to jail because I don't want her to go to jail. So there you go. That's the breakdown of that. So I got to that topic simply because people had been asking, what were my thoughts on the Kayla Bumpus, Shannon Stillwell? Do I really think they're married? Yes, they're married. The reason I'm confident that they are married is I took a look at the marriage certificate. Her name, Kayla Janae Bumpus, is the exact same name that she's registered under the Georgia State Bar. So we know that that's Kayla. And then he is the Shannon Stillwell. He's the only Shannon Stillwell. But it's also Shannon Stillwell is also the name of Shannon Bernard Jackson. It's the same person. It's a alias. And she may have actually thought that by using the other name, Shannon Bernard, people would not have realized the two. And it doesn't matter that her man has been locked up this whole time. Texas lets you do marriage by proxy. You don't have to be in the state. You don't even have to be on Zoom. So if there's somebody in jail anywhere that you'd like to marry, guys, come on to the state of Texas. They'll let you. Thank you, Keita. It says Young Thug got 15 years probation and has a 20-year backloaded sentence on one of the charges. So if he violates probation, he'll have to serve 20 years. Oh, girl, thank you so much for that clarification. I knew there was a 20-year piece of it involved. Thank you for clarifying that. So thank you guys. This is it for today's stream. Drop below any other topics you want me to cover. I enjoyed it. Talk to you guys later. Your legal bestie, Attorney Simone. Oh, and if you guys are here in Houston in town for Afrotech, definitely say, hey, girl. Hey, legal bestie. I love to take pictures or hang out with you guys if I see you at the convention center or any of the after parties. Take care. Bye, guys.